Morning, Willie. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So your lead story up on the site this morning, President Obama re-examining his sequester messaging. Some people asking, did he go too far in trying to scare the American public and to force Republicans into a deal that they never were going to make?
Yeah, Glenn Thrush has a smart piece up that takes a look at Democrats, Governor Rendell, who's on your show a lot, other Democrats on Capitol Hill who are very concerned about the sequestration strategy coming from the White House, largely from a communication standpoint. All these warnings of the dire consequences once sequestration kicked in, a lot of which haven't happened, and if they do happen, will happen well into the future. People looking at the stock market going up after sequestration. So there's a worry that they're by overhyping it, the White House has put itself in a tough political situation, then, done that same thing to Democrats on Capitol Hill, and that's why there's concern.
And by the way, the White House has canceled tours, saying over the cuts. They can't afford to give tours anymore. If you want to go tour the White House, you have to go through your lawmaker. You have to go up to the Hill. That's how bad it is, Joe. Yeah.
Really, that's horrible. So
it's the people's house no more.
They're not letting American citizens in the White House because the cuts are so bad.
Well, that's what they say. Here's the Wall Street.
That's horrible.
The Wall Street Journal wrote this, Jim. Check this out about the sequester. In its bid to make the sequester as painful as possible, the White House announced Tuesday it is canceling all visitor tours of the White House during the popular spring touring season. This fits President Obama's political strategy to punish the 8th graders visiting from Illinois instead of, say, the employees of the Agriculture Department who will attend a California conference sipping exceptional local wines and sampling tasty dishes prepared by special guest chefs. You get the idea here. Conference organizers promise the tasting will be a, quote, mouth-watering event featuring fine wines and exceptional microbrews paired with seasonally driven culinary delicacies. How do we sign up?
One other thing, Willie, that they're going to do, actually, the White House is going to have cabinet secretaries going out with needles and popping the balloons of young children walking on Pennsylvania Avenue, saying that we cannot afford the possibility that these balloons could go up in the air and cause problems in the airways over Washington, D.C. But yeah, way to punish the little kids. That's going to show Republicans.
And go take it up with your congressman.
And Willie, there's a danger in this. There is a political danger. People,
Thanks, Jim.
You're bringing it back. Bringing it back for us.
Bring it back to earth.
Great, helping you out. There is a danger in this, in that if the public starts to think that the government is exaggerating the consequences or is doing things like canceling White House tours just to make their point, there's going to be a backlash. And I think that's what Democrats are concerned about. You've had several cabinet secretaries say things that they've had to walk back about the consequences. We saw this with Arnie Duncan. We saw this with Napolitano. If you keep seeing that, people are starting to get suspicious. And I think whoever just said too late is probably right. It is too late because we've had several examples of that. And that's where the unease comes from.
And Gene, I mean,